Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, we are going to be doing a reading and energy update for our beautiful collective here on YouTube. So I am sending you all huge amounts of love and light energy today. I hope you've all been doing really well. And in recent reading videos, we've been talking so much about this new phase of your spiritual journey that's been opening up recently. This phase where you are meant to be seen and felt and perceived in some kind of a stronger way in the world. I've been calling it being more visible, although this doesn't have to be visible in the traditional sense. At the core, this is your frequency, your authentic self being made known. I'm hearing your authentic self is making its presence known. It's making some kind of splash in the world. And most likely, if you're resonating with this video, you've already begun to feel that shift. I keep getting the imagery of a flower starting to bloom. And within that imagery, it's as though you've already planted the seed of something. You've done all of that invisible growth beneath the earth. You've sprouted above the surface. And during that early stage of growth, just like we often protect flowers and other plants in those early budding stages, you were provided with a measure of energetic and spiritual protection during those early stages of growth that may have actually felt somewhat like an isolation. But now you have reached this point of strength where you are ready to open up to the world. And a message that's been coming through is that you, during that time of energetic protectedness, where you may have felt more isolated, not only were you in a training and strengthening phase spiritually, but you were also healing something really deep. And the sense I get is that during those early stages, you weren't fully ready to open up to the world or to open up to this new phase, whether it's a new job, new love, new friendships, new connections. You weren't ready because not only did you have to strengthen yourself spiritually, but there was also something that you needed to deeply heal. And it's almost as though during that time, people and things felt blocked out of your life. You may have intentionally blocked some of these things out because you had this subconscious awareness that the time wasn't ready yet. But there has just been this monumental shift that's been taking place for us collectively, where you are now ready to open up to the world in a bigger way. Now, I know we're talking kind of in generalities here, and that's because this form of opening up is going to be different for every single person listening. So this opening up to the world could be you sharing a business. It could be you beginning to build something to share your passion, your creativity, your artwork, your music. This could be you opening up to soul-based friendships and deep connections, or maybe new love or new romantic opportunities. This might be you moving to a new place. But the key is, I know I've listed out a million different ways that this could resonate, and you might even have your own spin on this that wasn't listed. The key is, this is something that's going to feel good to you. It's going to feel aligned for you, and you're going to feel inspired happily towards it. Meaning there's going to be this exhilarating, happy feeling of inspiration or push in that direction that is just going to keep coming up for you. Now, there's something else that I feel the need to mention here, and this is that although you're going to feel this exhilaration, this excitedness, this passion, a passion push in that direction, so to speak, there's something else you need to be aware of, which is you are most likely going to feel a little bit of doubt or fear creeping in as well. So yes, there is going to be this overwhelming sense of pull, this sense of passion, but there very well might be a small voice in your head, a voice of doubt that says, what if this is crazy? What if opening my heart in this way causes me to get hurt? What if I am not supposed to be sharing myself with the world in this way? And I'm hearing, listen to the passion over the fear, because the fear is just lingering artificial programming that really you've already cleared out within yourself. It's like the echoes of old subconscious limiting belief system programming that you've released from your system, but you're still kind of picking up on those echoes. Almost echoes from a past timeline where you kept yourself smaller, or maybe you needed to pull back a lot from being so visible or connecting so much with others for the purpose of growing or healing. This is an echo of a past timeline. Whenever you're feeling some kind of fear or anxiety or doubt, trust the passion over the fear and allow yourself to move forward in the direction that feels most exhilarating for you, even if those fears do crop up. Because what you're going to find as you follow through this exercise of self-trust, I saw the number 620, that might be relevant for someone. June could be someone's birth month. Maybe you were born on the 6th or the 20th of a month. There also could be Gemini energy here, but of course also we tend to think of the sign of Gemini as being really high energy, being very much about communicating, socializing, connecting with others, and that might resonate with some aspect of this new phase of your journey. Now, I'm getting as well that something about this new phase might both feel exhilarating, deeply fulfilling, but also a little unfamiliar, not entirely estranged in this unfamiliarity, but kind of this sense of reconnecting with some really deep, lost, or forgotten aspect of your internal self. So there's this sense of revisiting something that's been dormant for so long. It both feels soul aligned at the core of you, but also feels a bit strange or a bit unfamiliar. It's like it's so aligned with you or connected to you, but at the same time, in the physical 3D world, there may be the sense that so much time has passed since you've revisited this thing. Now, this won't be for everyone, but for some of you, something could be coming full circle. I keep getting something about like 10 to 12 years. So something from about 10 years ago, possibly if that specific timeline's connecting for you, that will really just be for a small specific group of people. But there's something coming up from a while ago that you might get the sense as though you are revisiting. This could be a friend group or a friend specifically that maybe you lost touch with, that you're reconnecting with. This might be some love connection that had significance years ago, maybe even 10 years ago specifically, that's coming back up for you. This also could be a dream or a goal or a vision that you had at that point in your life that is now coming into a fruition, that may have felt as though it was put on hold for a long time. And even that was by divine design. There was a reason that this dream, goal, or vision was put on hold all this time. It wasn't time wasted. It was time preparing. It was time healing, growing, expanding, and building the foundation invisibly within yourself that would support the full-blown manifestation of that vision, goal, or dream that you might be revisiting or resurfacing. Now, again, this might not be relevant for everyone, so only take this if it connects, but you might find it to be an interesting exercise to connect the dots from approximately maybe 10 years ago, maybe 12 years ago, some phase of your life around maybe that time. Maybe it's a different time frame for you that's just been resurfacing in your mind, or where it feels like certain people, things, or thoughts are coming back from that time. Whatever time that is for you, if this is relevant, maybe go back into that time mentally or in meditation and really ask your inner self, what was my life like back then? What did my heart really deeply desire? back then, whether it was a person, a relationship, a kind of love, a kind of friendship, a kind of manifestation. And how am I now revisiting that era of my life in some sense? I just get the sense that you are being refragmented. You are being put back together in a sense on a soul level by recovering some fragmented aspect of yourself. And again, this may have been an aspect of yourself that you intentionally put on hold or left dormant for some time or for some reason. But there is a reason that this has been coming back up for you so strongly on an intuitive level. So the strongest message here, again, is to trust that intuitive pulling, even if you're questioning or doubting it, because I sense so much potential for deep soul level fulfillment, but also that refragmenting of yourself. I feel almost as though something from your past that you are revisiting has something about you to give back to you. I'm getting something about smiling, laughing, or a sense of humor. So maybe there's some aspect of yourself that used to just laugh or play more or had a certain kind of sense of humor, and maybe you lost some of that light along the way or some of that play or fun. And that might be that aspect of yourself that's been resurfacing in some way, that's breathing new life into you in a sense. But of course, that's pretty specific. So only take that if it's connecting. I'm just really getting that for someone. I'm also getting something about your life being so much more comprehensive than you may have allowed it to be in the past. What I mean by this is there may have been a time where you really shut down many aspects of your life to focus in on a few select aspects. And there was nothing wrong with doing that. In fact, there may have been a very intuitive reason that you were guided to do that at that time. But what I'm getting now is that you have been guided to follow this shift in the energy to a more comprehensive way of living, a more holistic way of living, in a sense that really fuels and feeds your body, mind, and soul. And to not underestimate the power of play, the power of laughter, the power of allowing yourself to have beautiful, marvelous, delicious human experiences, even with other humans that you are connecting with, or just out into the world, and to trust how you're being intuitively inspired and guided through all of that. Because what I'm getting very strongly as well is every aspect of your life so strongly feeds in on itself. So when you are, for example, allowing yourself joy, laughter, play, even if it doesn't necessarily seem quote unquote productive to you from, let's say, a financial sense or a work sense or whatever, know that it actually is energetically beneficial to those other, what you might consider to be more practical aspects of your life, because your life is this grand, moving, breathing, comprehensive, energetic web. And we are beginning to see this increasingly and open up to this wisdom that allows us to see the value in reinforcing different aspects of that life energy web, so to speak, knowing that everything is so interconnected and that whatever we cultivate in one aspect of our lives naturally feeds out and supports all the other aspects as well. So, wow, beautiful messages coming through already, and we haven't even pulled a card yet. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle here. By the way, as I always say, if you would like to manifest a more specific message from the reading today, I do recommend liking the video and subscribing to the channel, as these are forms of energetic transference that do tend to allow me to pick up more easily on your energy and channel more specifically for you and your situation. You might be able to hear the smile in my voice because as I was talking, we pulled the card Soul Family. And this is such a synchronicity because while I was journaling this morning after meditating, the message that came through is, you don't have to be alone. You don't have to do it alone. Or you don't have to do it alone anymore, depending on how it connects for you. And this card says that exactly. It says you don't have to do it alone. So I feel I'm speaking to someone who's been very isolated and very hyper independent during a certain phase of their spiritual growth. And you are one of those that's been inspired to open up in new ways, to push yourself into new connections, interactions, conversations. And you're being guided to really open up to that fully, like that flower blossoming, to allow yourself to lean into that as it feels good and aligned for you, as it feels inspired for you. Because you are attracting in your soul family now in the physical in a stronger way than ever before. This might really surprise someone I'm speaking to here, because you might be someone that hasn't necessarily connected in with many deep soul connections physically in this lifetime, or at least not recently. But know that this is beginning to happen for you. And I'm seeing dolphin imagery on this card, so I'm going to look up dolphin symbolism. So dolphins can symbol renewal, healing, and transformation. They can also symbolize a deep connection with the ocean. So maybe someone here connects with the water or the ocean or a certain body of water in some way. The importance of balance and the human spirit. They can also be spiritual guides or messengers. So it may be that someone specific, or maybe a group of people that you socially feel guided to speak with or connect to, are actually messengers, in the sense that they have something to bring you. And for some reason, I'm getting the word celebration. So you might have people that want to connect with you simply to celebrate you, to celebrate your growth, to give to you energetically, emotionally, and spiritually in the way that you've given to others for so long. Because I also strongly feel I'm picking up on someone who tends to really give a lot to the people around them. And it might be that you've gone through a phase where you've given quite a bit to people around you, but you don't always necessarily feel fueled on a soul level in the same way. And I'm just hearing it's time for the giver to be given to, and time for the healer to be healed. And I'm so strongly getting that that is you. I feel that many of these are going to be platonic soulmates. So I'm getting the sense of your soul tribe, your soul family. This might be very good friends entering or re-entering your life. And I'm also getting a message around trusting the pull even when it doesn't feel logical and seems small on the surface, especially when it comes to these interpersonal interactions. Because what I'm getting is that your mind might try to come in with doubt here, trying to plan out the future of these connections, especially if these are very small or casual meetings or conversations. So you might be feeling inspired, for example, to spark up a conversation with someone, to reconnect with an old friend, to open your heart in some way, but your mind might try to get involved and say, well, if you do this, then what's going to happen a year from now or down the road? Or what is this going to require of you? Or is this going to entangle you emotionally in some way? And once again, I'm getting that message of your soul knows the way, and your soul is speaking to you through those intuitive, passionate impulses. So when you receive those impulses, allow yourself to follow them out, to take the next step without necessarily overthinking it, because regardless of where it goes, I see it leading to so much passion and deep fulfillment and fun and happiness and celebration, even if it goes in an unexpected direction. So we also have the cards destruction and transformation. And what I'm getting here is some kind of destruction in your life was required for a profound transformation. But now you're exiting that destruction phase and entering the transformation phase. So you may have gone through a period of time where you were so accustomed to allowing everything in your life to crumble. I'm hearing tear it all down. You may have felt as though there was a time where everything in your life came under fire or under question. where every person or friend in your life seemed to kind of fade out of your reality, where your belief systems, your sense of self, even your persona felt like it had to be completely destroyed and deconstructed. And it really reminds me of wiping the slate clean to build something more aligned on the platform or on the foundation. So that destruction was necessary for the clean slate. It was necessary to bring you back to a ground zero, so to speak, that you could build upon. But this is a new phase, and this phase is no longer about destruction. It's about transformation. Really, instead of destruction, we could say deconstruction. That's a little bit of a more positive connotation of a word, but you are in the transformation phase. The destruction is over. The deconstruction has completed itself. And now is a time of building and flowing in that new, aligned, transformed direction. But the sense I get is those doubts and fears and anxieties that might come up could still be echoes from that phase of very necessary deconstruction that has now been completed. Trust that the deconstruction has been completed, that you've created that strong, clear foundation within yourself that you are now building upon. You are now allowing the growth, allowing the transformation here. Butterflies might be some kind of a symbol for someone, but of course, butterflies in a general sense symbolize freedom and a massive transformation that has taken place. Now, specifically, I'm seeing a blue butterfly. And these are considered very rare and can speak to a change in luck. They can also be seen as a wish granter. It's meant to be something very rare. So there's a rare energy around you, an energy of alignment, I just keep hearing good alignments. It's funny, I have been getting that channeled phrase as I've been walking around during the day. The idea of meeting good alignments or being in good alignments. So maybe for someone, the idea of good alignments could be a mantra throughout your day, that you are meeting or connecting with good alignments, whether it's timing, whether it's conversations, people, just really beautiful moments in your physical world. And I get the sense that you are meant to be leaning into that and fully just basking in those glorious good alignments in your life. But anyway, that was really a bit of a side message. I do want to know more about this transformation era that you seem to be in at the moment. So what is this transformation era? Okay, yeah, we have the Tower. So you've been through the Tower moment, a time of destruction, upheaval, a lot of unexpected change or loss. But now there is the sense of coming back full circle to something, but bringing a brand new energy to it. So whether it's a new person you're connecting with, a business, a vision, a goal, don't be dissuaded from doing it just because this is something that you may have tried in the past, or maybe a person that you may have tried connecting with in the past. Because recognize that after this deconstruction, and the transformation that's now taken place, you are actually bringing a brand new energy to this person, to this idea, to this vision, to whatever this is that you've been feeling inspired towards. This is about seizing the opportunities as they intuitively present themselves to you with the Four of Cups in the reverse position. In fact, you might feel an influx of new energy where you suddenly start feeling more inspired or pushed in new directions. You might actually, just in a physical sense, feel more energized in your daily life. You might notice that you start requiring less sleep on certain days because there's just this new energy flooding in, or this excitement in your life. And I'm also getting, if this isn't connecting yet, that you might want to save this reading because you might still be wrapping up that deconstruction phase and really on the brink of shifting into this transformation era that we're describing here. Because of course we all are on slightly different waves and timelines. I am noticing how many of these cards coming up have been sitting on the heart space, which makes sense because I've gotten the sense of you opening up your heart. And I'm hearing when you open your heart, you allow others the privilege of experiencing you. And I know that sounds simplistic, but know that it's not. Experiencing you is such a rare privilege and a gift. Know that simply by offering your time, your energy, your focus, your interaction to others, you are deeply inspiring and uplifting them. You are actually also assisting them naturally and subconsciously in manifesting amazing things in their own life. You might even see this in people that you've interacted with regularly recently over the months or years, that as you focus on yourself and your inner growth and manifesting in your own life, that good energy radiates outward into this collective web of consciousness in the quantum field and actually subconsciously uplifts, inspires, and supports everyone who has the privilege of being heavily connected to you. So I'm just getting the sense of you opening your heart to a new person, a new group of people. Maybe this is in business. Maybe this is you taking on business clients or customers in some way, or maybe it's a new group of friends or romantic opportunities. But know that there's this essence of you opening your heart to a new person or group, and in doing so, sharing your gifts, generously sharing your energy, but in a way that positively opens up a circuit that comes back to you as well. Whether that comes back to you in the form of money, abundance, etc. If this is you sharing your heart through a business and receiving back energy in the form of abundance or money or whatever the case is, or whether it's you receiving back love and support and celebratory energy, as we were talking about earlier, I get the sense that these new things are people you're opening your heart to. It's not one-sided. Yes, you're being very generous with your open-hearted energy, but it's creating a circuit as well where there is a lot flowing back to you. So there's a very equal exchange taking place here. We also have the King of Wands. So you are someone who really is inspiring many others to their own purpose. This might be their own creativity, their own ideas, their own highest vibrational timeline, but I'm just really seeing you almost being revealed as a spiritual leader here. This might actually shock some people when your essence or you in some way is more revealed consciously and you are showing up as this sort of leader. This might be a surprise to people who knew the old version of you, but I'm also getting the sense of you very much being celebrated in all of this as well. It's like you've undergone this transformation into a leader in the sense that you are leading others into deeper alignment with their own inner self and into the creation of their own dreams, goals, and visions in life. I'm also picking up a bit of a side message for someone with the 8 of Swords in the reverse position, that someone here might be assisting other people in freeing themselves from something. I'm hearing you've found freedom and now you're teaching it to others. So of course, this could apply in many ways. This might be emotional freedom. This might be freedom in the way that you think, freedom from societal limiting programs or beliefs. This also could be literal freedom from toxic relationships, toxic patterns, negative life dynamics. I'm just strongly getting the sense of you having found your freedom, and now you are helping other people to find their own freedom, which of course you could be doing by interacting with them on a personal level, but you could also be doing simply through living the example of your own freedom. So, wow, very powerful messages coming through today's reading. I really hope that this has been helpful or inspiring to someone out there listening. And if you did receive anything beneficial from the reading today, I would love for you to leave me a comment underneath the video. Let me know what resonated for you personally. Also, if you do connect with my energy here, of course, I invite you to subscribe, join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself. And I will now be heading over to Patreon, where we will be continuing this channeling. So we will be diving into deeper details around what's happening currently on your timeline with your energy, with your life purpose, any other spirit guide messages that want to come through, anyone who might be connected to your energy, thinking a lot about you, talking a lot about you that wants to come up in that reading. So all of those additional details and pieces of information will be in the Patreon extended reading. And the link to join me on Patreon is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. Otherwise, I am going to pull one final Rumi Oracle card to close out our reading. And the card to come out here is Sacred Soul Sister, which of course is already deeply resonating with the idea that you are attracting in more of your soul family, more of your soul tribe. But I'm going to read from the guidebook here as well. And the guidebook says, when you are conscious, a cloud of sadness surrounds you. When you are beyond consciousness, the moon rests in your arms. When you are conscious, the beloved moves out of your reach. When you are beyond consciousness, the ecstasy of love moves your way. When you are conscious, you are depressed like fall. When you are beyond consciousness, the winter cold feels like spring. All your wavering is due to your longing to be stable. Look for instability until you become stable. Rumi. And the guidebook also says, I love you. I am your other self. I am with you always, your partner on this soul journey. I am the you that you do not see. I am the you that speaks through intuition and instinct. I whisper and sing and shout my crazed truth-telling to you through your dreams, through your body. I am the you that is wise, that trusts in life, that knows. I am the you that sees reality rather than appearance. I am the you that knows how to be happy and free. So that feels like a perfect place to close the reading. Thank you so much again for tuning in today. And of course, if you want to join me now on Patreon to keep this going, the link to do so is underneath the video. Otherwise, have a beautiful remainder of your day and weekend, and I will connect with you here again in Monday's reading.